Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and in his honor, this will be a great honor. But in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true. National unity is now returning to America, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country, we will not forget our Constitution, and we will not forget our God. Can't do that.
We won't forget our God. We will not forget.
Today I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense. First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. By invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities. As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before.
For real?
Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices. The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill. America will be a manufacturing nation once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it. We'll use it. We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again, right to the top, and export American energy all over the world. We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet that will help to do it. With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers. In other words, you'll be able to buy the car of your choice. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that nobody could have dreamt possible just a few years ago. And thank you to the auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with that vote. I will immediately begin the overhaul of our trade system to protect American workers and families. Instead of taxing our citizens, for this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources. The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before to restore competence and effectiveness to our federal government. My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
There's a trick to that. How y'all doing?
Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Something I know something about. We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law. And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities. This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Okay.
this week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay. And I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately. Our armed forces will be free to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies. Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs. President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made, and Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form, and that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars. Ambition is the lifeblood of a great nation, and right now our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued billions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do, and no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken. I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced.
With Pick and Ship, you can compare shipping rates and delivery dates, then use our rate shopping recommendation tool to find the best carrier for your shipment. The price you see is the price you pay. That's Pick and Ship from today's most recognized global shipping and mailing leader.
They made prepaid the new contract? Mobile keeps it flexible. We do prepaid and we truly mean it. No need to pay in advance to lock in crazy affordable deals. Go for the unlimited plan for just $25 a month. Mobile. Phone plans, just the way you like it.
He just screaming a bunch of
Thank you.
words
In
together.
recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill.
We are coming on the air tonight with the triple threat of weather hitting about a third of Americans tonight. Snow, ice, and sleet from Colorado to the Atlantic. I want to show you here some of the new video that our team is just getting in. Look at that pickup truck slipping and sliding around.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have the forecast. Also, in just the last hour, President Trump moving to ban transgender women from women's sports. We're going to have more on that in just a moment. Plus, the new pushback from Capitol Hill and the skepticism from some in the president's own party on his plan to turn Gaza into the Riviera of the Middle East. Then, want to show you some of the close call we saw today at the Seattle airport. Look at this here. This is essentially the wing of one plane slamming into the tail of another. The same day, the transportation secretary says he's consulting with Elon Musk about how to revamp some of the system. And we'll hear from federal workers in our conversation about the fear and the fury as they describe the confusion and the chaos now as the president promises to slash the size of the workforce, how the political is getting personal, and suspects in the so-called sports bling ring today in federal court. What we're learning from that as investigators are sharing more about these links potentially to some of those high-profile thefts from the homes of pro athletes. All that coming up in just a second right here on this show. Hi there, I'm Hallie, and we are coming on the air tonight with that triple threat of extreme weather slamming more than 100 million people tonight under winter weather alerts with back-to-back storms, snow, ice, sleet, freezing rain from the Rockies all the way east. You're looking at Kansas City there. Look how messy those roads are. This freezing rain is making highways so dangerous. You've got the University of Illinois set to close in the next half hour due to the freezing temperatures and icy conditions. This weather is set to move across the country, hitting major cities with snow and sleet later on tonight and overnight. So Chicago, watch out. Same with D.C., Philly, New York, Boston. You are all in the path. And on the West Coast, look at this, a ton of rain in Northern California, flooding these spots just north of Sacramento. You see Redding there, and dangerous mudslides in the Bay Area with another storm moving in tomorrow. Meteorologist Bill Cairns will break down the forecast in just a minute, but I want to go to Camila Bernal in LA for us to start. What's the latest?
Yeah, Hallie, it can be very dangerous and unexpected. And look, this storm has already caused mudslides, a landslide, so many evacuations, a lot of flooding in certain areas, roads closed, schools not essentially in session today in certain areas as well. So a lot of this storm impacting Northern California first, and even the city of San Francisco impacted. We saw a sinkhole there that was between 5 feet and 4 feet. Crews really quickly repaired that sinkhole. We also heard a report of a tree falling on top of a person in San Francisco. The fire department there saying that the person is okay. He was taken to the hospital, but nonetheless, just a very scary and dangerous situation. And then we also saw a rock slide that forcing authorities in San Francisco to close a part of the street there. Take a listen to what one of the authorities there in San Francisco is saying.
The engineers looked at the rock and they feel that what's left now is pretty stable, but they want to keep a close eye on it, right? You don't know where all the cracks are going to be. We've gone up in the past with specialized geologists and hillside stabilization folks who are rappelling down, kind of looking at everything piece by piece. If they see rock that looks loose, they'll chip it away.
And further north in Sonoma County, we're seeing a lot of flooding, in particular along the Napa River and the Russian River. The evacuations were mostly along the Russian River there. A lot of people leaving last night, others choosing not to leave. The problem there is that we are getting more rain Thursday and Friday already. That rain causing mudslides in Sonoma County. We saw at least one home that was a vacation home, so no one was there. It got taken into the Russian River by this mudslide. We also saw another mudslide today, getting very close to some of the homes in Sonoma County. At least one school district canceling all the classes. There was a tree that fell on top of a school in Santa Rosa. So a lot of problems there, including road closures all in Northern California, as well as here in Southern California, as a portion of the Pacific Coast Highway is also closed until Saturday.
Camila, thank you very much. Let's go to Bill Cairns now, who's got the forecast. And you got a lot to get through here, right? This winter storm, all of it, even as there's a very different sort of split screen happening down south.
Yeah, this is setting up for a very active February, like one storm after another, at least for the next 2 weeks, maybe even 3. This one tonight, this is all about ice. I mean, it would be no big deal if it was all snow. It'd just be like, maybe 2-3 inches.